Hey, Paul.
Hey, Jordan.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Hey.
Great to see you.
Yeah, indeed. So, Storj's new offering, Production Cloud, we're trying to make previously complex things like Amazon S3 compatible object storage. We're trying to make this more usable and more simple for filmmakers who maybe don't understand this technical stuff.
Yeah, it's already way too much IT lingo
Yeah,
put in there.
Exactly. We're simple people, we're creatives.
Yeah.
Right? So we want something that like mounts on your desktop and you can just use it, or some simple way to just move and file transfer stuff. And I'm curious, how do you guys see making things simple for end users?
By making sure you don't have to think about it. We're all used to HDDs. I have a hard drive, I connect it. And SSD is a completely different technology, but it works in the same way. Imagine needing an SSD, needing a completely different workflow for you. Then it wouldn't have had that adoption.
Right.
So if you extend that idea, it's the same for cloud. And S3 basically is the storage for cloud.
Yeah.
Everybody else gives it a different name, but it's all S3 under the hood.
Yeah.
That should just work like a hard drive works, like an SSD drive works. And with Offshoot, we're the only ones that do that. So we expose an S3 cloud storage as if it's a hard drive. You get all the benefits from a hard drive, a file system, file renaming, browsing, folder stuff. And actually, on S3, folders don't exist.
Right.
So a lot of people confuse that. It doesn't exist.
Right.
We just recreate it and make it look like a hard drive works. We think that's super important for adoption of that.
So your camera people, your DITs on set, they have this simple app and they're able to do this really complex cloud thing just with a simple interface, essentially.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah, imagine if you use an SSD, with a hard drive you just put stuff on there and that's it. With an SSD you put stuff on there, then a little computer in it is going to decide for you what goes where.
Right.
Imagine you have to do that yourself.
Yeah.
If you come from IT and you would use S3 storage, you would need to be doing that.
Yeah.
That's a waste of your time. So we just try to make it super easy to use. And it goes two ways actually. If you're a DIT on set, you just need to push to cloud of your customer, that's super easy, but it should be just as easy for that customer to pull it out of the cloud or keep it in the cloud and sync it, so you can actually use it with your NLE. Exactly. Because your NLE is also not used to S3, it's used to hard drives.
That's right. Yeah.
So S3 should work as if it's a hard drive.
Yeah. Well, I've been a huge Hedge fan forever, probably. And I think one of the things that you guys do really well is you have one simple app that does one thing well, and then one simple app that does one thing well, and then sometimes they start talking to each other.
Oh yes, they do.
Right? Yeah. And it's just that simple pointed, like, I'm going to fix this problem for you right now. Let me give you the easy button. What are you guys working on? What's new?
Oh man, how long do you have?
About 3 minutes.
Oh, great. We make one-stop apps.
Yeah.
And they do one thing, but that one thing always comes with 300 little things.
Yeah.
We try to make those super easy and only pop up when you actually need them.
Yes.
When you need to copy a hard drive with Offshoot, you don't always need to rename, but when you do, it should be easy to find.
Right.
And there is a gazillion other stuff in apps like that. So they're actually super complex apps, but we keep the complexity away from you. Well, we do that with Offshoot, obviously, for DITs. We do for Canister with LTO, where the complexity is even worse.
One of my favorite
ginormous
apps.
With LTO. We do that with EditReady for transcoding. We do it for PostLab for managing your NLE projects.
Yeah.
What we're working on is Canopy. Canopy is a dailies and media management app that allows you to review your shots, allow you to tag it. Of course has AI in it, but that's not rocket science anymore. Actually, today everybody talks about AI as if it's massive investment. The fact that everybody does it means it's just not hard. But you do need the access to it. So that's in Canopy. And indeed, that all ties into each other. So with Offshoot, you can, if you need to do transcodes, which you don't always need to do, but if you do, then you can automate that into EditReady automatically. You can automate to Canister, you can automate to Canopy. So we try to, instead of building one massive, ginormous app that allows you to do all those pillars, those columns of a workflow, you don't always need all of them. And that makes it pretty expensive, such an app. Like that easily gets an app up to $1,000 a year to actually have all that, when you might not need all of that all the time. So we break that down into silos and we make it easy to connect. And so you can just piecemeal together what you need for a workflow just to drive down that complexity. When I started this company, we set out ideally, if you're on set, you want to have a peer next to you just to do that stuff that you don't have time for, but the peer should be on the same technical level as you are. Right? Otherwise, you need to spend time on learning someone's stuff. You don't have that time anyway. So we try our software to be that assistant, not just on set, but also in post-production and in archiving. And that kind of really works well, because every time we have someone telling us, hey, I have this workflow, I'm running into this issue, that's typically something an assistant wouldn't be able to do, because you need some pretty heavy insight for that. But it is something that software can do. So we try to then expose that to you.
Sort of like the app is always as smart as you are, in a sense. If you come in not knowing anything, it's super easy. If you're an expert, you can do even more.
Yeah, there's a great example. What we often see is when a production is offloading cards and they make a mistake with labeling it. Say you offloaded cards 1 to 4, and then you make a mistake, and then you mixed up some labels and you offloaded card 4 again as if it's card 5, and then at some point down the road, weeks later, likely, someone is going to complain like, hey, where's card 5? Oh, card 5 we have, card 4 we have 2 times. Offshoot warns for that kind of stuff. Offshoot is that assistant that is saying, I don't know how you want it, but I did find something that you might want to have a look at. And that's what we try to do in all our apps.
So you've recently built in this awesome cloud uploader that actually re-verifies the camera checksum, right?
Yes.
So it's now built into Offshoot, and you have a branded Storj integration.
Oh yes, we do. So what we found is, because you need a checksum, verified checksum workflow throughout the whole chain, that chain of custody, many companies in this industry see S3 uploads as a separate thing, where we see it as a cohesive one problem that needs the same solution for every step in there. So what we figured out together with Amazon, the original creators of S3, is that we found a way to apply the checksum mechanisms that we have for local hard drives to apply that to S3.
Oh, wow.
And because all proper storage vendors like Storj adhere to that S3 standard, that makes your Storj S3 storage work like a hard drive when it comes to verification. And the great thing about Storj, of course, is that it is distributed. So it's no longer, most people use S3 as a sort of sneaker net, one point of entry, one point exit. But with Storj, you actually distribute it worldwide, so you can just have all the exit nodes you need. And that's very helpful when, imagine having 20 sneaker net drives to the whole team. That's pretty hard to handle, right? There's a lot of FedEx stuff going on for that. But if you can do that with one upload, that's amazing.
Indeed. Well, this has been a lot of fun. As always, a pleasure, Paul. You're the man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks.